Welcome back to Hardcore Ultimate Iron Man. We're going in the Theater of Blood. Entry mode, of course. But still, we need to be as prepared as possible. We've got equipment for all the different combat styles. We got potions. So I think we should be able to do this. But there are certain pieces that we need to go and collect. There is the first item that we are going to need. A weapon poison. At the very end, well, not quite the very end, but near the end, final boss, you need to be able to do poisoning. So if we hadn't collected a poison, this whole thing would fail. And we're going to put this weapon poison onto a dragon dagger. Buying this for 60,000 coins here, instead of going and getting a diamond. Could have bought this from the Myths Guild again. I won't. Dragon Dagger P. Someday I will remember that the Myths Guild exists. Today is not that day. Ava's accumulator. Not the assembler, since we don't have a Vorkath head. But that's alright. A couple broad bolts. Going to be bringing 3 types of bolts here. We got the rubies, the broads, and the diamonds for varying different locations where I don't really want to spend the enchanted bolts. And since I'm bringing 2 kinds of bolts anyways, a third is fine. Literally not going to take any more space. Because we have bolt pouch technology. Still, not as good as it maybe could be. But it's better than nothing. Just pop all the bolts into the pouch and configure it how we want it. Start with current ammo broad bolts, and then we can do stuff with that as we wish. Highly important in the Master Stash unit here at Barrows, the bank pin. Well, it's also not helpful since the skeleton's attacking me. Go away. It's the full Carol set. Not actually going to be using the coif or crossbow, but the top and skirt are my range equipment of choice. Hello, rat. The Ring of Life and its life-saving capability does not work in a Theater of Blood. So we will get another option. The Explorer's Ring. It's got a prayer bonus. It's not much, but it's better than nothing. Out from the house, Mystic Robes. Exactly how much magic accuracy we really need is questionable. Depending on what we're wearing, 42 magic bonus, that might be okay. Honestly. The question really is here, is it worth bringing the Mystic Robe Bottoms? There's only one situation where I actually care about magic accuracy. And how much will a Mystic Robe Bottom really help? More than an entire extra potion? I don't know. I'm gonna go with yes, just for making it look more consistent. I'm not bringing a magic cape though, because that'd only be a +9 bonus compared to this +25. Yeah, well, that'll work. So we do not need the other pieces of Mystic. Those are not necessary. I'm going to put some things in the looting bag here, or at Ferox Enclave. We for sure don't need Carol's Coif, or the Carol's Crossbow, or these Overflow Blood and Death runes. So those can go in. I'm going to get one more once over here, see if there's anything else missing. And then it's time to deal with the potions section. For the magic, we got the Ancient Staff. And we're going to be using Ice Blitz, which is Death, Blood, and Water runes. So that'll fit nicely in the rune pouch. Besides that, I think we're pretty much ready. We got a few things that obviously need to get stored. And we also need to get on Ancients. So that's going to be a process. One thing to consider would be getting onto Ancients, getting to the... We kind of need to be in the Ferox Enclave and the Warriors Guild in order to get the potions at the Warriors Guild for a boost, then store things in the looting bag. So I think a Games Necklace is in order here. I can get that, no problem. All the coins stored at Nightmare Zone. Already got the Shanty Pass to get into the desert and the potions from the Warriors Guild. And 500 extra coins. That's on the ground. It's fine. Ancient Magics. Activated. And technically, we don't need to go back to the Warriors Guild. But it's going to help a bit to get to the house. And why do we need to get to the house? The Dragon Battle Axe. And also a fast trip to Ferox Enclave. So. But first, actually going to use the bank here. Prepare what we need to put where, and what we need to drop where. Went and got 75,000 coins from Nightmare Zone for an absolutely critical final item we need. 1 stamina potion, 4 super restores, and it's going to be 11 brews once all is said and done. And all can be said and done starting with the Dragon Battle Axe special attack. That boosts a bunch of things. Well, just strength actually. And lowers a whole bunch of other ones. So we're going to restore here. Teleport over to the theater, where we're going to start dropping a whole bunch of stuff. Destroy the Lunar Staff, yes. And take some brews and unnote them. We're going to need to drop 2 of these brews. Well, let us first go and get the 75,000 coin thing we're looking to get. We're going to need a space for this. Drop that. Talk to the stranger. Advice for the theater. A escape crystal. For 75,000 coins. With this, we'll be able to teleport out if everything just falls apart. And there is always a chance that will happen. Drop 2 Sarah Brews. Teleport over to Clan Wars. To go to the Ferox Enclave. Where we put away this, and this, and this, and this, and this. Fill up on Sarah Brews. Put the other Ceradome Brew back in. And we should be good. So, don't need this. Did have an option of teleporting to Carol, if that was necessary. Don't need these. Don't need these. Don't need the Dust Battle Staff. Don't need the Law Runes. Drop Sarah Brew. Use the rest of the Sarah Brews on here. Use the Sarah Brew on here. Pick up a brew. Teleport back. I guess we only need to drop 1 brew. Well, that's okay. 1 Ceradome brew lost is not the worst. And all our stats are looking solid. Into the theater. Join a party. Gotta do that first. Make a party. We're good. I'm gonna drink a stamina potion here, just to start, as we have a lot of running. Theater of Blood is dangerous. Yep. Proceed. Entry mode. Let's go. And we are in. First up, the Maiden. We've got Protect from Magic. Wearing magic stuff, or magic defense stuff. I'm going to start off nice and strong with some DDS specs. All with Piety on, because why not? Then switch back to Flicking. Just to not use as much prayer. Dodge that as much as possible. Have spells selected correctly. Also would help. The Maiden has a few different kinds of attacks. Like that tornado that lowers your stats a little bit. And blood can happen. Please freeze. Well, that's a good start. Alright. We need some prayer back. I think we might just attack with melee or range or something. Stamina potion's gone, but that's okay. We'll be fine on that front at least. Completely failed. Let's try melee. Oh, that's not great. And we got it though. And there he is. Little blood spawn. That's always fun. Yeah, Maiden spawn some things. Heals a bit. One thing we can count on here is all of our stats and everything being healed at the end of each fight. So there we go. First one down. Only used 1 healing's worth And there's the mysterious stranger. Hi there. Fought well. Let's move on. Let's move on indeed. We are literally carrying him, which is hilarious. Onwards, through the formidable passage here, to the next fight. And this next fight is the Pestilent Bloat, where we want to have Protect from range on, in order to avoid at least some damage here. And we need to watch him walking around, not get too close. Until he stops. Going with the DDS, Special Attacks and Piety. Go for roughly 5 hits here, then run away. Turn off Piety. And we'll use another stamina potion here. You can also turn around, so we need to be careful of that. Now we also need to be careful of feet and hands and bits falling from the sky. Those can do a fair bit of damage if they hit you. So, obviously don't want that. He's down. It's time for attacking. And 6th hit was a mistake. Good to know. Prayer is doing okay. And now the bloat is sprinting. So we need to keep on moving. Without stamina or any other run recharging, this can get pretty messy. So luckily we are prepared for that. He's down again. We were a little slow getting over here, so definitely only 5 hits this time. Some good hits, though. Love to see it. We actually dodged that. Amazing. Keep trying to dodge the falling viscera while making sure we don't run straight into the bloat. See? Turns around. Don't want that. Don't want that at all. And he's running. And we're running. And he's down. Prayer's doing acceptably. And he's gone. That completes the second fight. Bringing us to the reward chest, which is a little awkward because our inventory is still completely full of things. This contains a message and some bandages. We'll start by drinking a Sarah brew and reading this message. You rock, human. Here's some things to help you take the fight all the way to Verzig. Her freaky layship. Give her a wallop from me. Just some random spectator graced us with a whole bunch of bandages, which we'll use, many of them, to get our magic level back as high as possible. Gives us boosts for everything. Also works as a stamina potion and pretty much everything, really. Stuff that you'll love to see. And next up, a very dangerous one. Nilochus. This one can get absolutely crazy. you've got these little guys here constantly coming into play. They attack the pillars. They attack you. It's all just generally a huge mess. So what you want to do is get rid of them, basically. Range for the green ones, melee for the gray ones, magic for the blue ones. And we're just switching around, fighting what we can, as we can. Basically staying in range armor, and staying further away from each of these little guys. Because when they die, you actually take damage, which is not super helpful. You can also attack them before they get to the area, which is also nice. Generally just standing in the middle here, you can get a whole bunch of shots off without having to really worry about getting attacked. And we have the progress bar at the top there, showing how long we need to keep it all up. Some of them start attacking you instead of going for the pillars, which is a thing. Go for the gray ones here. And they always have a certain amount of time that they stick around, and then they explode. Which also does damage, so beware of all that too. Got some magic boys. Shoot them. Another one there. Another one there. Take a little bit of damage from the ones attacking, but nothing too much to worry about. Just keep going for it. As long as we just keep attacking, we'll make some progress. Also, auto retaliate's on, which is not ideal. Let's get that off. And we also splashed, which makes me feel better about the prospect of having brought the Mystic Bottom. Since that ends up giving us a little bit more accuracy to play with. Taking a decent amount of damage here. We're going to brew back up. Restore. I think I'll just turn on Protect from range. Just to help a little bit here. And now we got ones that constantly switch color, which is annoying. Get rid of them. I got some melee guys. Some of the pillars are getting a little bit low for my liking. We're at 58% of the fight left. We'll just keep going at it, doing our best. There we keep switching. Go for the carols for the best sets of defenses. Keep on getting exploded, which is not great. I think melee is pretty much our best style here, since it's a faster attack. So that helps a little bit. Pillars are doing acceptably. damage we're taking is not doing acceptably, unfortunately. If you ever attack wrong, it messes everything up. So that's not ideal either. Magic level is not high enough to cast this spell. That messes that up. Now you're a melee guy. Looking at the pillars, some of them are getting lower than I'd like. I don't think there's anybody on that pillar right now, which is nice. 3. Restore. Keep going. Keep fighting the good fight. We don't want to be near the pillars when they explode, because then you take a bunch of damage. We're at 18%. The pillars are still alive, technically. Do some ranged hits here. Get exploded again. Not ideal. But we made it. The rest of these guys are going to explode. And then we are in the money. No pillar is dead. Beautiful. And then it's time for the big boss. Probably did not need to heal as much at the end there. That's okay. For this guy, you attack, then you stop attacking, then you switch styles, then you attack some more. Since we have ice spells and not blood spells, we're going to take a little damage here. Especially if we mess up too badly. Magic. Yeah, I need to be faster on the prayer switches. That's the primary thing we need to worry about here. Melee. Then switch. Then attack. Finally a range. So that's something. Could switch into better bolts. Would be an idea. Well, this is okay. Magic again. Ice spells are not helping a huge amount right now. That's okay. We're also not using any real boosting prayers or anything. Just because that's awkward to deal with everything else going on. Pretty much just 2 attacks with the slower styles here, unfortunately. Back to range. We are taking some damage. That's okay. Melee. Could go for a DDS spec. That's more switching things around. Just really don't want to deal with that right now. Making this as simple for ourselves as possible. That is the goal. The less we can mess up, the less we can mess up. Like that. Trying to get fancy with piety flicking. No good. Not gonna help. Two, 3. Prayer is doing just fine. No worries there. And melee again. Where we finish the fight. Getting all of our stats restored. Beautifully. That is definitely one of the more dangerous rooms. Moving on. So, only using some of the supplies there is actually fine. We still have this bandage we could use for a boost for the next fight. Probably worth it. Because this is Sotitseg. For this one, it's a lot about prayer flicking between the correct styles. And oh, what joy. Full melee gear. Even though there is going to be some magic attacks. We're going into melee distance, where we can do our best. Range attack. Magic attack. Magic attack again. Range attack. And then back to melee. And piety flicking when possible. Each of these little balls will turn off our protection prayers if we don't do it right, which is obviously no good. Not what you want to have. Let's let our prayer run down a little bit here. Just in time for that one. So we can more effectively use the bandage. And we are teleported through here. Use the bandage. That heals our prayer. Gives a stamina pot. Overall, everything you want to have. Let's get to the end here. Prepare to get back into the fight. So we've traveled through the Shadow Realm there or whatever. And we're back on the boss, where the constant prayer switches are very good. Doing a solid job so far. A bit chaotic. That is what it is. Overall going very well. Not really taking any damage. Super nice. Now we need to get back through here quickly before that red tornado catches us. Generally not what you want. And this area does do a little bit of damage, so something to be aware of. And prepare for more balls. It's kind of annoying how they get slightly obscured by the boss's model, but it's acceptable. It's acceptable. We got a ball of energy here. Always a fun time. Does 15 damage, because why wouldn't it? But we still have plenty of health, so I'm not too worried. Range attack. Range attack. Down to 17%. Another range attack. Magic attack. Range attack. Just lots and lots of prayer switching. As much as possible. That's alright. We got 8% prayer points left. Or 8 prayer points. And he's dead. And the ball doesn't do anything. Beautiful. And now we get a new chest, which is amazing. Love to see it. We've got a Ceradomin Brew 1 dose. So that actually heals less than the bandage, so we're going to use that first. Then we're going to see if this message says anything silly. I'm like totally bored. My wife's reading a book. The theater's not that entertaining. She thinks, Ambler, keep fighting. Might as well have some stuff to keep fighting. Sure. Appreciate it. random people. So we got 5 bandages here, and then 5 more bandages in the chest. So if we just spam through a few of these to get maximum stats, grab the rest of them, and in we go. I think I'm better off with the brew and restorers like we have here than switching anything. So I'm cool with that. Next up, Zarpus. Phase 1. Stand on these little thingies so it doesn't heal the boss or something. They pop down, they pop back up. Try to minimize the amount of little magic balls that get to the boss. Pretty awkward when they're very far away, because it gets a lot of little magical balls. But overall, it doesn't matter a huge amount. Still worthwhile, though. Still worthwhile. Lots of fantastic spawn. Love to see it. And that's the first phase. Second phase. You get shot with a whole bunch of poison attacks. So you just kind of run around as much as possible, trying to dodge the poison while firing off attacks. Between our boosted range level and already high base range level, we got plenty of time to just kind of casually make our way around the arena. As long as we dodge all the poison, we don't actually take any damage whatsoever. So, literally, can't go wrong. So I'm kind of next to the poison there. Not ideal. Generally, you can make a bit of a shape or whatever. Not important. Not important at all. I've seen a whole bunch of bolts there on the floor, but they're only broad bolts, so it doesn't really matter. Already nearing half health, and we're just kind of hanging around the outside. We got hit by poison, which is not great. Wasted some spaces there, also not great. But we have way more space than is necessary, so not a huge deal. The poison damage will go away eventually. And now Zarpus is staring intently. So what we don't want to do here is attack when he is facing towards us. Range attacks. Or stomp attacks, kinda. It's right here. It's kind of facing towards us. Don't want that. So we do 2 attacks and stop. And then just kind of wait it out. Again, not a huge time constraint here. See, right now if I attacked, I'd get whacked massive damage, and that's not what I want. So instead we just wait a little bit. I think we're fine to attack here, but I'm not gonna mess with it. We're doing fine, just as it is. See, now it's facing towards us. That's no good. A bold strategy, just kind of look in directions and hope things go for the best, but I'm not going to tell him how to do his job. Just whack him with the Dragon Scimitar, Don't even worry about anything. Who needs prayer? Who needs potions? Bonk. And bonk. And he's gone. Also, an elite combat achievement for not messing up the steering and directions mechanic. Yay. Alright. Stats are basically down to baseline here. And we need to pick up this staff. So I think the best course of action is going to be bandages. So I'm going to use one bandage, search the skeleton for the Dawnbringer, and enter in to the final challenge, where we actually want this setup on. And talk to Versing. Ready for the final performance? Let's begin. We got the special attack of the Dawnbringer. Does big damage to Verzik's shield here. And then Verzik attacks the pillars. Kind of need to wait around for the third special attack to be available. Like right now. But actually, next time. Like this. And down goes the pillar. Now we're going to do a slightly peculiar strategy. We are going to be attacking with range instead of melee. This is just more awkward to deal with. Here we got Nilocuses. This one needs to be poisoned, the other one explodes. Could go for ruby bolts if I'd remembered to configure the bolt pouch correctly. But generally we need to dodge the weird lantern things. The little magic blast is what it is. We're just kind of hanging out over here. Sometimes getting hit, but mostly just dodging out of the way. When doing more melee attacks, you need to worry about dodging correctly. So here we're going to heal up, use Superstore, and continue attacking. Basically just run around like crazy. Let's keep our stamina going here. We need to get rid of the Nilocuses as they come in, because they can heal and stuff. And the little magic seems to possibly stun. Not really. So we're fine on that front, at least. Protection prayers don't seem to do much for this phase, as far as I could tell. So we're just going to keep at it. Pretty much just taking damage from the magic attack kind of spell thing. But slowly but surely chipping away at it. Could be using a prayer, since we're going to be healing with brews and stuff. And we need to dodge the other Nilocuses, because they explode. That's no good for me. I don't like getting exploded. honestly. So yeah, maybe some prayer here would be worthwhile. Since we're taking damage and using the super restores anyways. Keep dodging. Dodging. Melee is definitely the better strategy here, if you can get it going right. But I'm not interested in trying that right now. Tried to stab him. Didn't work. There we go. Ah, exploded. We're going to use more brew. Unfortunate. We just need to make it through to the end, which is more than nothing here. Now we got these guys, which signals the start of we want to be protecting from magic for those little blood spells. Still want to not be using melee here because of the awkwardness. Also, a slam attack exists, so no thanks. No thanks. More of these little guys. Kill them fast, or she will heal. That's no good. But with that, we move on to phase 2, where we get attacked by various styles and such. Switching from range and magic, down with piety, doing our best. Just doing our best. Exploding guys are back. Don't need that either. Let's keep running away. Keep running away. Use a bandage here for the boosts and such. And now we're doing web time, where you run around, try not to get stuck in webs. Very cool. Very fun. But if you do it right, it's a bit of free damage. So, no real complaints here. Here's a range attack. Another range attack. Switch into magic. Very good. Prayer's getting a little low. Well, that's alright. Because we can go over here. We're going to drink a brew and restore. And then the fight continues. We're unfortunately not boosted since we used the brew. That's okay. One thing at a time here. Got a powerful projectile coming in. Can't do anything about that. Just take some damage. Lol. And still magic attacks. Fantastic. More magic attacks. And we are coming down to the end here, where everything goes a little crazy. So we're going to brew up to full and more. Super restore. And she's not finished with us just yet. We're doing webs and this at the same time. Fantastic. Love it. We need to desperately run and not get stuck in these webs right now, because that tornado there is doom. running, running, healing, and running, running, and healing. Stay away from that. Now we get the fun combo of we need to be over there and be over here at the same time. Oh my gosh. Running. Running. That was dangerous. Restore. Restore some more. Stamina pot. Heal. We've got the blue and Verzik on the same tile, which is not great. I don't think we can really get them apart from each other right now. So it's going to be range to the end, it seems. Speaking of range, taking range damage. Currently immune. Currently gonna heal. Currently gonna keep running for my life. We've got 2 brews basically. There we go. Open your mind to me. Stranger got it. Theater of Blood, SM Adept. Don't know what was adept about that. But we did it. It was pretty terrible. Theater of Blood completion time 34.01. Total completion time 39.20. Guess that's just the time we spent in between rooms. I want to know what we did adeptly there. Please enlighten me as to what that was. We've completed Barrows, yeah. This is Theater of Blood. It's more entry mode. Is that an entry mode? Yeah, entry mode Theater of Blood. What we successfully did was kill Zarpus without him reflecting any damage. No pillar. Survive Verzik Fatur's pillar phase without losing a pillar. Good. Survive Verzik Fatur's second phase without anyone getting bounced because we didn't step next to it. And also Adept, complete it 1 time. Okay. Not anything we were working for. We did take... I don't know if that was a chance, that one huge hit we took. Combo of attacks at the same time. But we did it. Let's see what our reward is. Oh boy. 3 Lantidimes, some Wines of Zamorax, and some Battle Staffs. Yeah, thanks. I can alch the Battle Staffs, I guess. Lantidime and Wines, meh. Let's get out of here. We succeeded. We got everything that we could get. And that was all for this guy. I hope you're happy. Did you get any useful information from Verzik? Yes and no. Interesting. They have a memory that they managed to collect, but not Verzik's memory. Huh? Let me show you. Once more, into a memory, where we have Verzik Fatur asking for a doctor. We have Vulcan or Voros here, finishing their notes on what is going on here. Verzik feels wrong. Really need to take her to surgery. Whatever that Nilochus did was no normal bite. But she doesn't want to go. And so the doctor will leave her in peace. Doctor, it's inside me. What? Help! And she freaking explodes. Devastating. Inside, the tiny spider had laid eggs with the bite or something, and grew inside of her until she exploded. So she's dead now. All this time, we thought that Verzik was doing stuff here. In reality, it was the Nilocus Queen. They're going to destroy the Doctor, dine on his corpse. The rule of the vampires is over. The rule of the Nilocus has begun. So whenever you find the boss, it's actually the spider. Never anticipated something like this. Does that mean the Verzik in the theater, just a Nilocus in disguise, need to inform his master? So these associates you've been going on, they don't exist, do they? Nope. A singular involvement with this mysterious stranger, trusted by his master, and they trusted me enough to go meet him. Where? Their kind, the mysterious stranger, can relive memories and also communicate across great distances. And they have another such fellow with the master. So with those two guys' help, we can speak directly. So here we go. Here is a mysterious stranger that we can talk to through here. Oh, this is just the mysterious stranger. He's going to contact the master. And then when we're done, he'll want to speak. When he next speaks, it'll be the voice of the master. Okay. Greetings, my child. You've done well. Great service to me and my disciples. I don't even know who you are. We can't speak in person. If it was possible, he would be. There's many constraints, but they're often beneficial, so they're not going to break them quite yet. What matters is we share common enemies that infest Hollowvale like a disease: the vampires. The master is kept safer from this disease, from being far away, using his disciples to act upon Gillinor, harbingers of his will. And he is home. Okay. And your connection to Verzik? An old foe. And they don't care that she's dead. And the Nilocus? Concerning. But we've gathered enough information and items that we can overcome it when the time is right. And the time is right when the time is right. Fair. So nothing else right now. We must wait. But we do have his thanks. We will be suitably rewarded, and we are now a friend of Sugadinti. Quest complete. 2 quest points, 4 lamps, and that's all there is to see. We can put these lamps into combat stats. How about magic? 20,000 magic XP from there. And we get some more magic XP, magic XP, and magic XP. There is 80,000 magic XP. And all the quests are completed. So that means one thing. And that is the Quest Point Cape. I want it. 99,000 coins. Easily doable. And there we go. Quest Point Cape on the Hardcore Ultimate Iron Man. We've got the Skill Cape emote here in the Wise Old Man's house. And that is an elite task in the Lumberjan Drainer area. So yeah. There you go. The main goal I was going for. And that is going to be the end of what I'm going to call Season 1. Season 2 will happen eventually. Not going to do anything crazy on this account, like decide I don't care about the hardcore status anymore, or make some kind of, oh, it only counts if I die, not on purpose. And I'm not going to go in the wilderness with 50 mil worth of stuff. So this is the end for now. I also do not have enough experience with higher level content to even really be confident to do it on this account right now. And so it's going to take some time to practice that, but that's later. For right now, Hardcore Ultimate Iron Man Arctic has the Quest Point Cape, but there's still many more quests to do in a slightly different way on a slightly different game. RuneScape 3 Hardcore Ultimate Iron Man: The Quest Through Time. Next series. Goodbye.